I want to tell you about the longest speech in Jewish history, if not world history. And it was actually a speech that Moshe Rabbeinu gave the entire Jewish people right before they were about to enter into the land of Israel. How long was this speech? 5 weeks. Imagine that. I mean, they had, I'm sure, sleeping breaks and eating breaks in between, but the speech itself was 5 weeks. And Moshe Rabbeinu was about to die, and he knew that he wouldn't lead the Jewish people into Israel. So what he did, he wanted to get as much information in to the people's heads before they took on the land of Israel and all the responsibility that came with it. And actually, the entire book of Deuteronomy, the 5th book, Sefer Devarim, is literally that entire speech from start to almost the end of it. And what he does is he begins the speech by very subtly and very cautiously rebuking the people on a number of things they'd done in the past 40 years, which he didn't want them to repeat when they entered into Israel. And the first thing that he mentioned, so chronologically, it didn't make sense that he began with this, because there were bad things they did before this and after it, but the thing that he chose to hint at was the sin of the spies, the Meraglim. And at some point, 40 years before, they sent in spies to Israel to spy out the land. They all came back with a bad report, and they spoke Lashon Hara about the land of Israel. And because of that one crime, the entire Jewish people speaking bad about the land of Israel, that entire generation weren't allowed to enter into Israel, had to spend 40 years in the desert, so their children and their wives were allowed to get in. And this fits in very much with this Saturday night. On Motzei Shabbat, we have the fast day of Tisha B'Av, the saddest day in the Jewish calendar. We don't eat, we don't shower, and we're literally in a state of mourning over the temple and the destruction. Actually, all bad things that have happened right through Jewish history up to that point, we kind of like put into that one day of mourning. But they say the reason why the temple was destroyed, that led to this whole Tisha B'Av reality coming into the fore, is Lashon Hara, bad speech. It's one thing we can work on during these days, which I'm still thinking about as well, is how we can actually improve that we speak about each other, not talking negatively, and always trying to work on our speech, which always needs importance and improvement. May this be our last Tisha B'Av. Shabbat Shalom.